welcome to Morning Ride here on Delta Television. On behalf of the board, management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, we are delighted to have you join us this morning as we take you through our world of information, education and entertainment. I am Ogaga Ekama, your host for today, the 16th day in the month of March 2026, and we have an interesting lineup for you this morning. I'm not alone. I've got Cheesy Awuno with me. Good morning, Cheesy.
Good morning, Ogaga.
Happy Mother's Day to you. Yes, yesterday.
I was thinking you will not tell me that.
No, of course, I'm a gentleman. Yesterday was Mothering Sunday. So happy Mother's Day to the cameraman, also Robo, and also to the PD. Ufoma, happy Mother's Day to you all, ladies.
So, Gaga, yesterday, for the first time in a very long time, I tied a wrapper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
interesting.
Because for Mother's Day, you have to tie your wrapper
who said?
And look like that's like the rule,
You have to look motherly.
You have to look motherly. So, I tied my wrapper. I got to the church, and an elderly woman said, "Not be so that they tie wrapper." I said, "That's fine, ma'am. You can help me. We are used to suit every time." Okay. But yes, it was an amazing day. It was, a day as well for us to reflect and give ourselves a pat at the back and say, yes, we're doing well as mothers, and also to reflect, know where we are not doing right, and work towards being a better version of ourselves. But as the PD, Madam Ufoma, said on Friday, mothers are the real MVP, and I think that mothers are the 1% of the 1%. So happy Mother's Day to all amazing mothers out there. There are also some girls who got forced to become mothers, most times because their moms or their parents died at an early stage, so they had to be the one, especially first daughters, they had to be the one to take up the burden to become mothers and train the other children, through school. There are also some persons who didn't give birth to the children by birth, but they are motherly in their ways. We're saying happy Mother's Day, and we see you. And for those who refused to abort a child, gave birth to the child and took care of the child, we're saying happy Mother's Day. Yes.
Yeah, so happy Mother's Day to
Happy Mother's Day to your future wife too.
Happy Mother's Day to all
mom.
The women out there,
right.
Potential mothers, working mom, foster mom, adoptive mom, all the moms to be. We say happy
and
Mother's Day.
Irresponsible mothers too. They
deserve
love.
Yeah, oh well, for irresponsible mothers, this is a call for you to step up so you'll be celebrated, because I don't want to believe that any irresponsible mom was really celebrated. So if you were not celebrated, maybe you should look inward, do some introspection and ask yourself why you weren't celebrated, because there are even persons out there that haven't celebrated people beyond their biological moms, because
True.
These persons have played motherly roles in their lives. So happy Mother's Day to you. Did your children, were they conscious of the fact that it was Mother's Day?
Yes, they were very, very, very conscious, and somehow would swing because we had white blouse on, and the kids as well wore white blouse, and then they had the children come sing for us in church. It was just, it was really beautiful. I would have cried, but I don't cry anymore.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so this morning we've got a lineup of trending news, newspaper review, and interviews you do not want to miss. So let's jump right in. Let's start from the trending news. Now, the Delta State government has approved the construction of modern police divisional headquarters in all 25 local government areas of the state. Now, this decision is aimed at strengthening security infrastructure and improving policing across communities in the state. Now, we know that state policing is one of the things that has been brought to the front burner when it comes to security of lives and property, especially when you consider the spate of insecurity in the country right now. The governor has taken a very good move to spread police divisional headquarters across the 25 local governments in the state, and this will make policing more at the grassroots level. Now, according to the government, the new headquarters will be equipped with modern facilities to enhance the operational efficiency of the Nigerian police and provide better support for security personnel at the grassroots. The project is expected to boost the capacity of law enforcement agencies, improve response to security challenges, and ensure safer communities for residents and business across Delta State. The initiative also reflects the state government's commitment to investing in critical infrastructure and maintaining peace and stability necessary for sustainable growth and development. Now, this is a great development, a great move. Now, some of the things that we've seen when it comes to insecurity, especially in the northern region, middle belt, is proximity of security operatives to communities around. Now, having a divisional headquarter in every local government, I believe this will make the police more of an integral part in the community. So it's a good one, and I hope that these modern facilities that will be constructed and being built for the Nigerian police force, and I hope that they are properly maintained, because maintenance culture is another thing that has plagued the nation very much. And then we see, sometimes I wonder, I think it was sometime last year, yes, that the state governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oberoi, gave out vans, police vehicles to the police across the state when the then IGP Kayode Egbetokun visited the state, and he did all of this. But occasionally, more often than not, we still find police patrolling town with rickety vehicles. So it begs the question, where are these new vehicles that were donated, that we used as to support the work that the police they are doing? So I'm just saying that when these facilities are eventually completed, the headquarters are eventually completed, I hope that they'll be properly maintained so that the police can benefit from it, and also this is done for the police to serve the people, and the people will be served much better.
Okay, Ogonda, so during the weekend, video came up of popular, influencer Gege, talking about the Delta State government. The Delta State government was put on the spotlight. Good things were said about them, but then they also spoke about infrastructure. But all I just have to say is that I really see the governor working. I see him working. I mean, you can't get everything right in one day. Now, this one right here is also a very big step in the right direction, because if we cannot boast of good security, then people cannot even go to their workplace. You might leave your house, but you're not even sure you will return, or you're not even sure you will get to your workplace in one piece. But I want to say that this is a big step in the right direction, and a lot of people have said it, that it looks like the governor is trying to make Delta State into a mini Dubai. We've seen most times that previous administrations, what they do is most times they concentrate on their own area. But with this present governor that we have, it's not like that. You can see him trying to touch the nooks and crannies of the state. And as you said, we can't get it right in one day, but we can definitely see that he is working. And again, you talked about maintenance culture. It's really sad that a lot of people do not have maintenance culture. Even amongst us, a lot of persons do not have maintenance culture. When you give them something, you won't see them taking care of it like it's their own. They try to make a mess of it, and at the end of the day, it gets bad. Then you spend a lot. Sometimes you might not be able to revive that thing, because you talked about the vehicles. Some persons are given this vehicle and they go and park it in their house, and they are probably using it for school run or something. Then when it gets bad, they will come back and say it's bad. I really think that if something is given for a particular purpose, let it serve that purpose. Yes, so that's what I think.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Okay, so our next story, moving on. This one here says the Social Economic Right and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to order an investigation into the alleged spending of about 5.9 billion naira on the rebranding of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. In an open letter dated March 14, 2026, and signed by SERAP's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization called for full transparency regarding the reported expenditure. SERAP urged the President to direct the Federal Ministry of Justice, led by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, to work with relevant anti-corruption agencies to investigate the spending. According to the group, the probe is necessary to ensure accountability in the management of public funds and to strengthen public trust in government institutions. Now, Ogaga, just seeing this, I like the fact that they are investigating, but when this money was given out, I expected that there should have been a follow-up as to how the money would be spent. You know, you don't dole out, you know, so much and then don't follow it up. And then we've also seen in the past where we hear things like, oh, justice will be served, the person will be brought to book, you know, and at the end of the day, it just gets sometimes swept under the carpet, sometimes there's no follow-up. So I truly think that when things like this are brought to the limelight, we should be put through the process, you know.
Now, I'll pick up from the point you just dropped. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know it's so painful that these funds, they were disbursed and this rebranding was done in 2022?
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so imagine about 4 years down the line. That is when questions are being asked.
They are realizing that there was
about
misappropriation.
5.9 billion naira. So I'm asking, yes, even though some persons might argue that it was not under this current administration, it was under the administration of the late President Muhammadu Buhari and all of that. But I think it was Femi Falana, SAN, that brought about Maribond refineries and all of that, raised questions that funds that were disbursed and earmarked for all of these, what was done, and now everybody, including the NNPC, were just relying on the Dangote refinery. Meanwhile, funds were earmarked a couple of months ago for the rehabilitation or to make the refineries, put them in a better shape. Yes, and all of that, give it a facelift and all of that. Now, it's so sad, and one of the things I've seen about this is that some persons are not even, when it comes to syrup, some persons just say syrup, they are just a toothless bulldog.
They're not taking seriously.
Yes, they just keep suing and suing and suing. We don't see the end of the cases and punitive measures if necessary and all of that. But I think that this case should be followed up, and it should not be like the rest situations where after a while it will be swept under the carpet and we don't know where those funds have gone into. And I don't want to also hear situations where they say it was not during this administration, because of course we know that the leadership of the NNPC and NNPCL has changed over time and all of that. So even though maybe the person that misappropriated funds is no longer in office, if found culpable and guilty, they should face the full wrath of the law. Now, moving on to something that saddens my heart, was during the weekend, we saw a video that, of course, is now viral, of students bullying a fellow student.
Secondary school students.
Yes,
I guess you should watch that.
Igbenedion Educational Center. I don't know if the video is ready to be aired now. If it is, then let's just sit there and come back. Okay, so we can see what's happening over there now. So a student is on the floor. He was first of all being bullied by one, then another one came in. Now, you see the one putting that boy on the floor now. I think on late Friday night, a video came, or Saturday morning, a video came out. This boy now that you can see that eventually now collected the phone and went out. First of all, you could just tell that they are, should I call it youthful exuberance? Because in the first place, I don't know who put out that video. You were stupid enough to bully a fellow student.
Yeah.
Now, the bullying now is not just punishment. You are being inhumane to a fellow. Can you imagine stepping on a child, stepping on his head? He's just, imagine using your foot, stomping a human being like that.
To kill him.
Yes. Yeah. What could he have done? They are going to that extent. So now, first of all, you people were stupid enough to capture it. I don't know why you're capturing that moment. Whether to go back and gloat that, or to show it to a fellow student that, see what I meant this guy and all of that.
Nobody tried to separate.
Yes. Then secondly, after covering it, somebody out of their carelessness, still felt the need to put it online.
Yeah.
It's so sad, but also I must commend the school.
And the owner of the school as
yes,
well.
I must commend the school for what they've done. They came out with a statement that all the students involved, that is the bullying students, they have been expelled. And a video was also put out there of the light-skinned boy who eventually came into the class second. Yes, that's him now. After he was expelled, him and his family, people were just shaming him for what he did, and him putting out his hand there, appealing to them, probably showing remorse. I don't know if it's regret or actual remorse and all of that. And also the Nigerian Police Force and the State Police Command, they've come out to say that the case is being investigated as well. And also a family of one of the students that was expelled, they've put out a statement out there apologizing, and I think the statement, it was, I think it was a good statement, honestly. The parents expressed regret that their child was involved in that, and they also reached out to the child that was being bullied, and they said that they confirmed that the child is okay, but of course, like health-wise, it's okay, but they also empathize with how he would be feeling emotionally and all of that. That's the boy's father, and they were all being shamed and all of that, oh, this is what you did and that. So the police, they stepped into the situation. I don't know how old the children are. If anybody is up to 18.
Nobody can be up to 18. Secondary school.
Eh?
It's secondary school.
Eh?
It's secondary school.
I don't understand. You didn't have old people in your secondary school.
No, you know what I'm telling you this.
Eh?
This school, I grew up in Benin.
Eh?
This school in Benin is the rich man's school.
So
the children who go there, none will be up to 18.
Okay,
I can assure you that.
Okay, I'm not certain. That's why I said if anybody's up to 18, then of course they are of age to face punitive measures.
Yes.
But if not, I think that it will be found around it and all of that. But it's a good one by the family that has put out an apology statement on behalf of the family, on behalf of the family and on behalf of their child, and has also reached out to the family of the boy that was being bullied. This is very terrible.
Okay, Ogaga, so I saw this video, and first time I saw this video was on our group page, and the person that put it out there, first of all gave an apology, because she said that when she was in school she bullied people a lot, and now that she's a mother, just seeing this, she has to come back to apologize to everybody who she has ever bullied in school. What am I trying to say? Bullying didn't just start today.
No.
Even in our time there was bullying. At the time before us, it has always been on ground. I think why it has come to the limelight right now is because there's social media.
True.
And this is a school where children are allowed to carry phone. First of all, I don't know where the trend started that children can take phone to school. In our time, I don't know about you, but in my time, you have to pass your WAEC and NECO in my father's house before you can get the opportunity to get a phone. But now they allow children to take in phones into school unguided, because they can be watching pornography, violent films and things like that. Let's put that aside. Now let's talk about the fact that a school as rich and big as the Benin Educational Center doesn't have CCTV cameras everywhere. Because if they had CCTV cameras everywhere, I think it should be a rule, really. Because if they had CCTV cameras everywhere, then this wouldn't have happened. Because somewhere...
You think?
Yeah, someone would have been observing from the monitoring room.
Well, I think that in Nigeria, most times, sorry to correct you, CCTV cameras most times are used as... It's not being used in a preventive manner.
Yeah.
It's being used in a reactional manner. That's why you see situations and CCTV footage of when a thief stole a phone. The thief is usually not apprehended. It's when the damage has been done.
They will now want to go back to check.
So
yes. But I really think that they need to make that a rule. Let me even blow your mind. This is just secondary school, right? This is just secondary school. I will tell you that about 2 years ago, my young daughter was bullied by two boys. One said slap her, then he slapped her.
Her fellow classmates
said slap her, then the boy now told another boy
to context, what
slap
class
her.
was your daughter then?
At that time she was in KG3. So two boys slapped her, And as a parent, I asked her, because I will always tell my children, I'll say, don't fight first. You must not fight first. So I asked her, was your teacher in class? She said, oh yes, but the teacher said, oh, you are disturbing me, I'm having a headache. So I took my daughter to the school the next day and said, help me slap the 2 boys with all your power. Now what I'm trying to say is that bullying happens even in the lowest class. Now, charity, they say, starts from home. That child must have shown signs of violence at home. Or there must be someone who is violent in the family. I don't want to say the dad, because the way the dad entered that vehicle with pride, I don't want to shame the dad.
Don't say
but
that.
I just want to say that the foundation, first of all, is wrong. And for phones to be allowed in the school premises, first of all, it is wrong on all levels, because now they are exposed to violent content, they are exposed to pornography, they are exposed to different things. What truly do you expect? And then you talked about if they are up to 18, they're juvenile. So if you can have the boldness to step on a child and beat the child, like, because from what I saw in that video, the aim was to kill the victim. Because he stepped on the chest, stepped on his head several times. So maybe he should be put in a wrestling ring with someone who is 3 times senior to him. Then they will do a competition of who can beat who. But this is indeed a sad video, and I'm happy that the Esama of Benin, Ibn Ejo himself, who is the owner of this school and the university as well, has come out to totally condemn the act.
So now we must commend the authorities of the school, first of all, because this is not the first time we're seeing bullying clips emerge on social media, and as my memory can serve me, this is the first time that I'm seeing immediate action, expulsion. Because most times when we see these things online, we see that the schools that these things usually happen most of the time, that makes it to the internet, are schools of well-to-do schools, Montessori schools, British schools, and these grade A schools that the wealthy attend. So somehow we see a situation where their parents use their influence to kind of defend and mitigate the punishment, and cover up the case. But in this situation, we saw that the school authority, they did the needful, expelling them. The Edo Police Command has come through, and also commending the family of one of the bullies that actually released a statement. And now I'll end with this. This is a clarion call to all parents, that we have to model the right thing for our children. What you said actually came to my mind. I was like, first of all, where did this boy see this kind of thing? I just hope it's not in the family. Let's just hope that he has been exposed to violent content. I just hope it's not in the family, because if he has seen this in his family, then if this child is not properly taken care of and he needs to go through rehabilitation, he will end up being a wife beater and all of that. So this is a very, very terrible, and we hope that parents out there will do the needful to start raising their children, paying attention to the content that their children feed on and digest, and train them to be kind, compassionate, gentle. Kindness is not weakness. Gentility is not foolishness. You don't always have to be aggressive. Do you understand? So let's learn to let love lead. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, it will be time for newspaper review. Please stay tuned.
Roll me, baby. She knows me, I'm Mr. AJ. I told her I can be a bobo. She wants to be my baby. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want, say. Many girl tell me ain't about me. Depends how I'm feeling at the time of the day.
Said she want roll, remember. She don't come for the same, She gaslight, she knows what's better. Give me cattle like Zella. Me and AJ locked in as brother. Any instrumental is mental.
The Modern Technical College, Omadino, that we are commissioning today, will present a flagship investment in technical education by this administration.
feel my power, why special? Take you where you never been before. I sound why I'm precise, Suachi. He tell I was in every day. And we know the tire, we be like a bank. She said she knows me.
Boss, I beg. Boss. Dino, please. Boss. This is white, I beg, boss. Just, please, I beg. Just, I beg. Just, I beg. Just, please. Boss, I beg. Boss. Dino.
Like I dey tell you, very soon electricity for Delta State it go be one of the best for Nigeria.
Obukobo, abeg stop. You don't start.
Calm down. You get wetin I don tell you before when
you don't tell me now. Say this year 2026 they go complete the DSA roundabout flyover for every. No, they watch whether it go happen now.
Sure, why not go happen? This year just a start now. The construction of the DSA roundabout flyover for Efru is already 98% complete.
You sure?
Yes. Governor Sheriff dey drive to modernize urban infrastructure so that it go ease traffic congestion across key metropolitan.
You mean metropolitan corridor?
Yes. You know, say me and English na like this.
Well, I no go lie, Governor Sheriff they do well because I know of some communities where they say their expectations, their dreams has become a reality. You will talk something about electricity.
Our governor, Right Honorable Sheriff, he don dey set to add 120 megawatts to the national grid.
Oh boy, this one go boost Delta State energy capacity.
Delta State Health Insurance Scheme expanded between 2023 to 2025, becoming Nigeria's largest state health insurance scheme. While Oborewori no go clinch double honors as Governor of the Year 2025.
Governor Oborewori don remember Kokori Sweet Crude with 12 billion naira road rehabilitation.
I know, na 35.32 kilometer road for Ethiopia East local government area.
150 primary healthcare centers under renovation and upgrade across the state.
This road intervention wey Governor Sheriff dey do so na practical demonstration of the Governor Sheriff opportunities for all wey dey more agenda.
Particularly communities wey don suffer neglect for years.
Governor Sheriff dey work with the CM Mari Matter.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
Welcome back to Morning Ride here on Delta Television. It's time now for our first interview on the program. Tomorrow, the world marks World Social Work Day, a global observance set aside every year in March to celebrate the contributions of social workers and to highlight their role in promoting social justice, protecting vulnerable populations, and strengthening communities. In Nigeria, social workers are increasingly recognized as key partners in addressing poverty, humanitarian crises, and other social challenges that affect national development. As professionals who work directly with individuals, families, and communities, social workers help bridge gaps in welfare, advocate for human rights, and support policies aimed at improving the well-being of citizens. Today, I am being joined by the chairman, the Nigeria Association of Social Workers, Mrs. Jane Adebayo, and also the secretary of the association, Comrade Shedrack Ezomoho, and a senior special assistant to the Delta State Governor on Media, Honorable Bright Olomon. Together, we'll be looking at this Social Workers Day for this year and the theme for the year. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Okay. Let's begin with you, Madam Chairman. What exactly is social work, and what is the theme for this year? Shed light on the theme, what the theme hopes to achieve, and the awareness is looking to create.
Social work is a profession, first of all.
Okay.
It's not just anybody just coming in to practice. These are professionally trained personnel to render humanitarian services and social services, and also to give guidance, counseling to society generally, vulnerable people, children, all the facets of society, even from the family.
Okay.
They render services, humanitarian services, social services, to kind of ameliorate social ills. They serve as a bridge too between the society ills, so that they can find a solution to it, so that we live in a harmonious society devoid of social ills.
Okay, so Comrade Ezomoho, just take on the second part of the question. Now, the World Social Workers Day is tomorrow, but what is the theme for this year's celebration, and what does it hope to achieve?
Thank you. Tomorrow is Social Work Day. Is celebrating the World Social Work Day. Delta State, being a chapter, being an affiliate, we also have to join to celebrate it. And so this year we are now looking at the theme, co-building, hope and harmony. A Harambee call to unite a divided society. Co-building, hope and harmony. A Harambee call to unite a divided society. And this year's theme is very apt, considering what we are seeing in Nigeria today. There are so many strikes, there are so many communal crises, there are issues of family crisis itself. The family is disturbed, and of course the nuclear family is very key to a peaceful society. The family is peaceful. The family is harmonious. It translates into the community, in fact, to the larger society. So now, we have seen that there are so many divides in our nation state, in various sectors, the family, the economy, even politics, security problems. There are so many divides, religious problems. So where is social work going to be around and things are going wrong? So the role of social workers now is to see how to provide solutions. Social work came about to make room for policies drive, for solutions to be brought about to bring that peace, hope, and harmony. Because if we don't have harmony, then we have a problem. Continuous crisis in families, in communities. What do as a people? Please bring your resources, your money, either cash or in kind, your ideas. Let's put our country together as a new independent country. That is why Jomo Kenyatta made it popular. So that same paradigm we're looking at now, we want to now employ it into the issues we have in Nigeria, what we have in Delta State, what we have in our families, what we have in our churches, what we have in other sectors, including drugs and drug peddling, issues of so many social violence that we have around. How do we solve them? Do we stay at the sideline as social workers? No. Social work came about because of social problems. So we are solution providers. So we must not work alone. Therefore, this year, we are co-building every sector, every facet of society. We want to join hands with them. We want to call them out. Let us work together. Let us put ourselves together. You as an economist, you are a industrialist, you are a psychologist, you are an engineer, you as a media man. Every one of us must put our hand on the deck to find solutions to the problem that are facing us. That is the call for this year's theme. Let us co-build. Let us build together. What do you have? Bring it on the table. What do I have? Bring it on the table. It's not a one-man show. It's a collective effort to see that we arrive at what we want to arrive at. We have a goal in mind. So how do we get there? At what we want to arrive at. We have a goal in mind. So how do we get there? It's not a one-man fight. It's not a one-man struggle. We must join hands together to build our society, to build a society that will be harmonious. There will be hope in our hope, in the hopelessness. There is harmony where we have conflict. The divide must be closed. We don't need that divide. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll come to you, Honorable Lomu, SSA, to the Governor of Media. Now, the theme for this year's World Social Work Day is co-building hope and harmony. Now, just take that first phrase. Now, one of the mantra that this Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori administration has adopted is the renewed hope for more agenda. Now, we're looking at co-building hope and harmony. So, where is the sink? What government policies has your principal put in place and your office also put in place to show the harmony between social workers and the role of the government in uniting a divided society?
Before I come to the aspect of the policy direction of the government, I want to highlight the practical application of our activities within the family, within the groups that make up society, and within communities. Please permit me to play a background so that it will not look like anybody can call for harmony. As a matter of fact, it's innate in us to desire that we live harmoniously. But because we are a profession, that is really professional in their operations, I want to go to the nitty-gritty, if you allow me. First of all, our chairperson said social work strives for societal harmony. When we came here last year, we tried to establish the fact that it's our responsibility to establish the proper and harmonious social functioning of members of society. And in addition, where there are issues of crisis, issues of physician, we try to fix it. I'm just giving a layman background. I want us to address the family because just like Mr. Sheldra said, the family is the basic unit of society.
Sure.
And how do we foster harmony in our homes? We need to look at the issues that bring about crisis in our homes. And I want to start with the socialization process. In our families today, women are raised to be subservient to the men. You know the popular saying that a woman's final role ends in the kitchen. So we raise women or the girl child who comes up in adulthood to think that she's subservient to the men. And maybe our chairperson will be talking about the special seat bill that is now before the National Assembly. How do we foster harmony when a population that makes up half of our total population is marginalized, is relegated to the background? But it starts from the home, because the girl child is raised, like I said, to be subservient. The male child is also raised to be a macho man. In the end, you find men who are struggling to assert themselves even when they should come down to work with their wives, with the women folk and all that. So we have to address the issue of our socialization processes in our families. And that dwells under the arm of social work, which we call case work. Case work,
okay.
Dealing with individuals. We also need to bridge the gap, what we call the generational gap between parents and their children. How do families work together when children think that Popsy or Momsy is too old to relate with? They are in the old generation. We are the new generation that knows what's up. In the end, you find out that there is crisis because the father is saying, or the mother is saying, "Okra no dey go past Iona," and the child is saying, "I have gone past that level for you to try to control me." Another point we need to emphasize is that many social workers advocate that the transitory processes that children are involved in, from childhood to teenage years, from teenage years to adolescent stroke teenage years, to youthful years, and to adulthood, is very important for us to emphasize that if anything goes wrong along the processes, we will raise dysfunctional adults. So we are saying as social workers who handle case work that we need to address the transitory processes that every human being goes through. And how do we do that? We go to schools. Many of our schools, I don't know whether it's existent in Delta, many of our schools have counselors who try to address. I think before we came in, one of us was talking about the harassment that we've seen in one of the schools.
Benedict Educational Center.
Exactly. That child or those two children that were abusing that child, if you go back to their homes, you find out that something has not been working out well. That child or those two children need rehabilitation. It's not just okay to expel them alone. They need to be rehabilitated because they are going to turn out to be danger to society in their adulthood. So we have school counselors who are social workers who address these challenges, including career choices. A child that was made to do the course of study of appealing to the parents may grow up with resentment against the parents. So we need to address that. Having said that, I come to the roles that our government, led ably by the Governor Sheriff Oboiwori, what he has been doing. It's good to say this, that he has an EA, executive assistant, who runs the operations of social work in the state.
Okay.
Incidentally, she couldn't come because she's indisposed. She coordinates all the activities of social workers in the state. I also work with her and our team of state executive. We should emphasize this point that the governor is a pan-Deltan. He has shown that he's the governor of all Deltans, irrespective of your ethnic background. And knowing how ethnicism has become a problem in Nigeria, in Delta State, where people think more of where they come from than being patriotic to the Nigerian nation.
All right.
Okay. So having a governor who thinks that we should unite in all ramifications to foster development is a very welcoming development. The governor is detribalized. He does not. I remember one time they asked him, "Are you from? Where is this from now? Is it Okpe?" He said, "No, I'm a Warri boy." And that statement helped to assuage the fact that Warri, reading with crisis, has seen that the governor is not ready to take sides.
Okay.
So there are other activities we engage in, but because of time, I may not be able to read it out.
Yes.
The governor is trying in that respect.
Okay, so Chairman, I'll come to you now. We're almost out of time, but can you list out some of the challenges social workers face in Nigeria, particularly in terms of funding, recognition, and also legislation? So can you shed light on that?
Social workers in Nigeria, actually, the profession has been sublime.
Why is that?
Yes, because everybody think anybody could become a social worker. Once you just have a soft heart, you just delve in and start doing when you are.
But you said it's humanitarian work now, so
I said it's a profession first.
Okay.
So there are principles that it ought to follow. So Nigerians, social workers, they are being marginalized. They are not fully recognized. Though we have legislators, we have our bill that has been passed. Then one of the two, like what we are calling now, co-building, there seems to be division here and there, but we are managing ourselves. Then in terms of the government tend to pick anybody, like I said, because they felt it's a humanitarian service. They don't consider those who are professional, who have been trained to handle these issues. So most of the time when they are called into positions to handle social interventions of the government, they do it as they like. They don't follow the principles. So sometimes the people who are meant to enjoy those things are sidelines. The people who are in their need of those services sometimes don't get it, because the people who are handling it are not professional. They have not been professionally trained. They are just people because they have human. Everybody is a social animal. So because you can just raise up your children, so they feel anybody can just work. But if professionals, like putting the right peg in the right hole, it makes it to work out fine. So we have a lot of challenges, even those in the civil service, even in Delta State here, the civil service here in Delta State, the social workers, they are extincting. No more employment for social workers. If you go to the ministries that are involved in social services, from 2022, I don't think any employment has been done. Maybe just unpick few. So you have the top, those people are going to exit the service more than the younger ones that were supposed to build up to take over from them. That is in the government service.
So it's a good thing that Honorable Olum is here, so he'll take that to the governor, so we know that employment is needed.
I would like to add a voice to what she just said.
Yes, you can go ahead. And also, while you're adding a voice, please prefer solutions. What can be done? Now, she has highlighted some of the challenges. Okay. So while you speak, also respond, what can be done? Like, I just prefer the solution and drawing the governor's attention to the fact that there are insufficient staff. Go ahead, Comrade Ezimoho.
Yes, thank you very much. What she was saying is a great concern to the growth of social work. The first issue we have is lack of awareness. The government itself, many of them don't know what social work is.
And that's why we have this platform.
So we keep
educate and enlighten.
Advocating, we keep talking about social work. Social work is a nexus of any good society. Without a social worker, the family is nowhere. The social worker is in charge, is involved in the development of the social of the family. The social worker is very key in the school system. Like Brother Bright said, many social workers that have been turned out, they have no employment. Just as you have guidance counseling, you should employ social workers in every school.
Okay.
What we call school social work. Sure. So that the child's academic performance can be looked into. If they have family issues, it will affect performance in school. Late coming to school, what is happening? You have nannies who don't come to school on time. And when they come there, they are sleeping in the class. They have defects in their academic performances. It's the work of the social worker. to know why that child is going down in grades. So the school system should be increased, but the staff strength, I'm talking about education, should work with Ministry of Women Affairs, for instance, involve the government to employ social workers who will help the school system, help take care of the children in school, to teach them, to guide them on how to perform well in school. We don't have them. But we have schools turning out social workers every year. Then apart from that, when you have Ministry of Humanitarian Services, Ministry of Women Affairs, they're supposed to engage social workers. They engage people like admin officers, HUs. They're not social workers. And let me make one point very clear she mentioned. Social work is not charity work. Social work is meant for charity work. It's not a calling. You must go through the process of learning social work. Social work is not only a profession, it's also an academic profession. So that when you come out of that social practice, studies, you go to handle social problems. You identify them, you work with people, and engage in social development. It's about you and the person working it out. Mm-hmm. So the problem we have, one is on awareness and how to get about it. We keep on making advocacies to governments that involve social workers in what you're doing. Look at SEMA, for instance. What are social workers in SEMA? They're not there. This is the work of social work. Go to the federal. You have social workers in SEMA. What do you call it? Disaster and all of that. You see them and God bless you. They are there. But look at the question of SEMA we have in Delta State. You can't find social workers there. No. That's their job. Okay. So now I'm coming to what you're saying. The solution we need to find, one, there should be a proper budget line.
Budgeting?
Yes. The government should provide sufficient budget line for social work to operate. Then engage them in schools. We have social workers, medical social workers in FMC that care for who cannot care for medical bills. They can't sell them. They go out with the doctors on routine. Those who have issues of pregnancy who have delivered, they have no help. Social worker is there to help them to source of funds in the community. Oh. Yes, that's their job. They are there in FMC, yes. So we need to expand that in ASH. Engage social workers in ASH. And one other thing we have also is risk allowances. As a profession, you are engaged with physically challenged persons, you are engaged with marital issues, like you said about casework, and you can break your head in holding a fight in your office. You go and raise children on the streets, it's their work. The children you see on the street in Itabua, it's their work. They shouldn't be on the streets. You can't sell them. When they even have issues, you don't punish them to say expel them. You can't sell them. Why are you not in school? So what I'm saying is that the policy of government must change so that they will increase the staff strength, would employ more social workers in school, more social workers in the system. Ministry of Women Affairs, maintenance, you engage more social workers so that we can reach out to people and address family crisis, address communal crisis, address issue of drugs and drug peddling, address other vices in the town. Look at street hawking. It's against the law. It's the work of the social worker to do it. But do you empower them? Train these people and retrain. Expose them to the modern skills of social work. Are you getting the point? Yes. Get more people into the system so that we will address these issues head on. And before you know it, society will be at peace. We will have hope. We will have harmony. We need to co-build. You and I must put hands together to co-build a society, to get a society that we would love to have. Okay. So the social must be there. So engage. If you want to be a social worker, come and learn. It's not because you are in the church, say you have calling. It's a different thing. Charity work is not social work. Okay. Yeah, that's the truth. Thank you very much.
It's very much right. There are skill sets that social workers operate by, become a social worker today. So the idea that is a charitable thing is neither here nor there. We need to know how to, because the truth is, if you handle an issue and you are not able to address it properly, you bungle up the process and make it worse. There are issues around children that you could handle. Instead of getting a child that is now rehabilitated, the child may get worse.
Yes.
So it's not about wanting to be nice to others. It's about following processes that define how to do it properly. And social workers, like he said, are trained to do their work professionally. We do investigations.
Yes.
I will call it investigation in layman terms, but we have we go the extra mile to see that whatever processes or issues we are handling do not get bungled up in the process. And only social workers who are trained to do this can adequately address societal ills. Like he said, I would excuse my governor, His Excellency, because he's really not aware of these challenges, so to say. And I believe that when I leave here, I will liaise with the EA to probably do a memo to him. And His Excellency that I know would definitely address these issues.
Okay, so this is a good one. Now, for the Delta State Charter of the Nigeria Association of Social Workers, now there is an association in Delta State. So where is the lacuna, where is the communication gap that up until now the governor is not aware? Is there no forum where the association gets to interface with the Delta State government? And if no, why has that not been put in place up until now?
Yes,
I think.
Okay.
No,
Let me, because I'm in government,
Yes,
so that there are layers of communication in government. You don't just walk up to the governor because you think you need to have his ears on issues that are plaguing you. Like I said...
No, nobody's saying that. That's why I'm asking for a forum. Since there's an association, for example, why has the association not reached out to the EA that you spoke about that's in charge of this? So why is that forum?
The association is still nascent or nascent. We got formed not recently. So it's not as if it's been in existence for a very long... The chapter of in the state came on board recently.
Not up to 2 years?
Not up to, so to say. Okay, well, but the thing is, our activities are being mitigated, are being hampered because of what you talked about in the various ministries. You know, people who were employed in the Ministry of Women Affairs, for example, who are not trained social workers, if you bring up issues around this, they will show a resistance because they think that many of them will be thrown out of the system if you are asked that professionalism be applied. But what we are doing at the national level, which will cascade to the states, is that the bill has been passed, and we are going to have very soon a council of social work to regulate the activities of all social workers and would-be social workers in Nigeria. Once this council comes on board, I believe that some of these issues that you raised will be addressed. Because where the Bible says, where there is no law, sin cannot be imputed. There is no council to regulate activities. Everybody is operating as he or she likes. But once the council comes on board, I'm assuring you that things will begin to take shape. But beyond that, I'm going to liaise, like I said, with the EA, and the governor will be made to know about these constraints. And I believe that, being who he is, he will definitely address them.
Okay. So, now, despite the lack of tangible support from the government on the association in Delta State, what milestones has the association achieved on their own since your inauguration or your formation in Delta State? What have you people done? For example, if I were to be the governor, and let's say I get an opportunity to meet with you, and I want to know what you have done without me. And I want to know what you have done without me. So this association has been running for 2 years now. What have you done? And where can the government, yes, you've said a lot of things, the government needs to employ professionals and all of that, but apart from the employment of professionals, how can I come in as a governor to support the association with what you already have on ground?
I know that you guys have been in the field. You are the director, assistant director handling, deputy director. Okay, maybe they should speak up.
No, of course they should speak. The question is actually meant for them.
They are doing so much.
So let's hear some of the things you've done.
What we've been doing as an association, first of all, is membership mobilization.
Okay.
All right, because we need to know who
fellow professionals.
Yes.
Okay.
We've been speaking across board, the correctional services, the FMC, humanitarian. We want to get everybody to the local government setting, so that we can know how many we are, who we are, and where we're working. That's the first point. Okay. Then 2, we have regular meetings where we discuss issues about social work. Then we also interface with ministries. We've done a visit to the Ministry of Justice to sensitize them on what we are doing. Chief judges are aware. All right. We've also gone to humanitarian, and even the Ministry of Women Affairs, which is the anchor ministry. We are doing so much. We are doing training and retraining of our staff that are remaining. We don't have much staff. We don't think we have up to 60 staff again in the whole ministry. We have to 60. Maybe I'm calculate the number. So what we do regularly is that we also engage with the national body to have regular annual general meetings where we are fed on what we're doing. But in the state here, we have campaigns to schools, because we visit schools and to sensitize them, to educate them what social work does. You understand? So we go to schools, we find that there's a gap. So we have taken the campaign to schools. We have taken the campaign to the Ministry of Justice. We have taken the campaign to Correctional Service and the police. We have our members in the police force. So we are doing all of that session. But that is holding us back is the Council of Social Work. If it's inaugurated, just like we have ICANN and the rest, we can have a regulatory body here in Delta State so that whoever is coming in meets the requirements and acts professionally. And the ethics of the profession are upheld. Like I said earlier, charity work is not social work. Like in the church, you can give rights out, it's not social work. That's not social work. That is charity organization. But social work itself, it goes beyond that. And it goes into what we call social development. So in the state, our handicap is that we have not been able to reach the governor one-on-one. But I know that the EA that we have now is a hard-working person. Like she said, we're going to work with her to come up with something to inform the governor and seek audience with him, to speak with him, and to understand what social work is, so that in the bill, in the ESCO, it could be captured. So that one, to provide, because you don't work without money, okay? There's no money, you don't work. Money is the life of an association.
We talked about budgeting earlier already.
So I want us to see that this matter we have said here is translated to the governor through the right channel, which is the EA. So we're going to do, when we do that, you start seeing us on the ground. But right now, we walk and we take care of patients in the streets, the beggars, with the people who are the students out of school, and the family case work we handle as a social workers are doing that. We are doing that. And even in my humanitarian, we have some empowerment who are doing humanitarian services in humanitarian ministry.
Boss. This is white, boss.
So we're working, but we have not got to the stage we are, because we are still growing. So we need everybody's time to be on deck to build a better society.
All right, I'll come to you, Honorable, with your last words, with what you have known as a social worker and a member or a staff of this administration. What would you say Deltans, let's limit it to Deltans, should expect from this administration to empower social workers going forward? What should we expect from social workers in Delta State in collaboration with the Oberewere administration?
I believe that when we are able to seek audience with the governor, definitely these constraints that were raised, like I said earlier, will be addressed. It's because the governor is not aware. I've worked with him a while now, and I know that he's passionate about ensuring that the welfare of Deltans is topmost on his agenda. Let me say that our social workers in the state were critical stakeholders when the Child Rights Act was enacted.
Okay.
They made very salient contributions, and the inputs they made still speak well for the children across the board. So I'm thinking that once we're able to see the governor, it should make it easy for us to operate in the state, especially considering the issue of finance. Right. The EA herself has been doing a great job. I know she goes around empowering people in communities. Right. Because one major element of our activities is empowerment. And seeing how the governor is very passionate about empowering different layers of society. You see what they call empowerment schemes for youth and all of that. The only thing we are saying is social workers must be involved in all of these interventions. Right. I think that's important.
Thank you very much. So, Chairman, with your last words, because this is where we get to put the plug, what will be your message to social workers across Delta State and Nigeria as they mark World Social Work Day?
Social workers in Delta
should develop themselves. It's a dynamic profession. As the society changes, social issues changes. So we need to develop ourselves intellectually, emotionally, to be able to reach out and meet the needs of the people, to go beyond the surface, because everything they say, because like this film you showed now, it's a dysfunction from home. So the social worker has to be able to see beyond what is happening immediately and go to the root cause to provide solution so that we can have a harmonious society, harmonious family.
All right, thank you very much, the chairman, Nigeria Association of Social Workers, Delta State Chapter, and also the secretary, Kwame Shedrack Ezimoho, and the chairman, Mrs. Jane Adebayo. And also we also have a social worker who also doubles as the special assistant to the governor on media, Honorable Bright Olomu. Thank you for shedding light on the role of a social worker and the role of the government as well. And we definitely look forward to the collaboration between the government and the Association of Social Workers here in Delta State. And as we commemorate World Social Work Day tomorrow, it is important to recognize that social workers play a critical role in nation building and in building resilient communities and promoting social justice. So even as we go about supporting vulnerable families, advocating for policies, improving well-being, let us remember that we need a social worker to do these things. So let us always seek their help, seek their collaboration as we go about doing our humanitarian, playing our humanitarian roles in society. We'll go on a break, and when we return, we'll review the newspapers here on The Morning Ride. Please stay tuned. Thank you very much, sir.
Have a governor who is managing the resources of the state very, very prudently. When we say that governance will not cease because we are in what you may call pre-election year, you could see that the governor is walking the talk. He's looking ahead by delivering projects that touches the life of the people. We are doing this supervision and tour of these projects because the governor has made it clear that if you fall short of the provisions in the Bill of Engineering Measurement and Evaluation, we will blacklist you. And we are seeing much more quality work coming in. We're also seeing greater speed.
Hello, my name is Blessing Ofomio. Join me every Tuesday, 11 a.m. on Delta Television, Asaba, on the program HBS Show with Blessing, History Behind Success. It is a program that talks about how one started from the humble beginning. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing, like and share to your loved ones. Don't miss this program for any reason.
Welcome back to Morning Ride. It's time now for our newspaper segment, and we have the Daily Sun, New Telegraph, The Guardian, Vanguard, The Punch, Daily Trust, The Nation, and Nigerian Tribune. And we'll kick off with the Daily Sun newspaper. The lead. NLC lists effects of petrol price hike. Says living costs unbearable for workers. Demands immediate wage award. Tax cut, relief, and that's right. I totally agree with this. Workers are going through a lot.
A lot.
CBN foreign investors raised Nigeria's dollar inflows to $4.37 billion. Hardship. We are not inciting Nigerians, ADC tells APC. Tinubu backs Nigerian media's fight for fair revenue from big tech. Promises tariff relief. President orders nationwide rice distribution. Ramadan. You can get details of that story in case you are interested in getting your rice on page 28 of the Daily Sun. Moving out to the top strip of the Daily Sun. Middle East crisis. Food. Medicine faced imminent price rise as sea, air freight costs soar. And last from the Daily Sun newspaper. Power outages. Soaring energy bills push businesses to breaking point. Yeah, so that's it on from the Daily Sun newspaper. I'll take the next paper while we'll move now to the New Telegraph, and this one says Middle East crisis. NLC demands tax relief, cost of living allowance. Why Senate won't pass 2026 budget tomorrow as proposed. Security nabs 4 bandits at Akure Airport. Pollutants in candlelight linked to cancer risk. Wow, this is according to a study. You can read of that study on page 30 of the New Telegraph. You can read of that study on page 30 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Your nation's heroes. Oluremi Tinubu hails Nigerian mothers. I agree with her. 2027. Kalu Oji Ipeazu set up committee for Tinubu. APC's victory in Abia. Nigeria Air Force approves 12 months salary for families of slain personnel. How to curb delay in corruption trials by lawyers. Electricity. Togo seeks higher power supply from Nigeria. Wow. And we cannot even supply ourselves. And lastly, from the New Telegraph, Nigeria boosts exports to African countries by 43.6% to 13.13 trillion naira.
All right, with me is the Guardian newspaper, and first the bold headline says higher FAAC earnings offer Nigeria leverage to rebuild fiscal budget, and that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Another story that we have here says Yusuf strips deputy of key position, straps Kanu ministry, and that's on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. This one here says Sanwo-Olu's free medical outreach for police will enhance efficiency, says DIG Zone 2. Okay. This story here says Army IPOB trade words over recovered IEDs in Imo operations. At the bottom here we have this one that says how Middle East war is reinventing survival crisis. All right, these are many more you can get on the Guardian newspaper. Do grab yourself a copy.
Moving out to the Vanguard newspaper, the screaming headline, displaced 3.7 million Nigerians now in 3,900 camps over insecurity. Very, very sad. We have to write that. Wartime relics, state capitals in peacetime. How governments, others are responsible. And a photo speak there, you can see the map of Nigeria with estimated displaced persons in the 36 states. Livestock economy importation extends dominance, rises 14.5% to 1.7 trillion naira. Tinubu backs media campaign against big tech. Iran vows to hunt down, kill Netanyahu. How national hero lived with disappointments till death. And the last I'll be taking from the Vanguard newspaper. Reason with us. Decentralized pipeline protection, a fairer system for the Niger Delta.
All right, here with me is the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, and first the screaming headline here says, opposition parties, lawyers, CSOs reject bid to criminalize dual party registration. Now the writer to that story says it's a selfish agenda. This is by the ADC. Another writer says amendment is unnecessary. This is by SDP. Another writer here says Utomi-led movement threatens illegal civil resistance. Others reject amendment bill. Another writer says it's a good law should be extended to curb defection. This is by Okore. And the last writer here says it's a move to suppress opposition. This is by CSOs. Another story here from the NDLA says NDLA arrests 74-year-old man with cocaine at Abuja airport. Another story here says State Police Delta approves construction of 25 divisional headquarters SPU base, and this is on page 4. At the bottom here, in health, says scientists identify simple saliva tests to detect hidden diabetes risk. This and many more you can get on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Okay, just run quickly. The Punch newspaper, the lead, US-Iran war, petrol price surge, sparks relief calls. I'll leave out the riders, or you can get yourself a copy of the Punch and get details. US probes Nigeria, orders in labor rights crackdown. And still more headlines from the Punch newspaper. UK visit. Federal government alleges plots to embarrass Tinubu. You can get details of that story on page 34 of the Punch newspaper. And the last headline I'll be taken from the Vanguard. Wike-backed faction installs PDP ESCOs in Bayelsa, Ekiti. Oh yeah, he has Makinde taking this.
All right, our last newspaper here, coming back to Delta State, the Point newspaper. The first bold big headline here says DTSG approves hostels for tertiary institutions. And the writer here says moves to complete abandoned Delsu Senate building. At the top strip here, we have Mother's Day. First Lady celebrates women's resilience and courage. Here again, we have this one that says petrol hike. NLC demands urgent federal government intervention. Inside Story News says probe 5.9 billion NNPC rebranding cost, Serap tells Tinubu. And on editorial, this one says Delta's new universities 5 years on. So these and many more you can get on the Pointer newspaper. Do grab yourself a copy of the Pointer newspaper.
All right, as you can see, we're already joined in the studio by Comrade Ejime Udueme. Good morning. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump right in. The Daily Sun has this headline I really love. NLC lists effects of petrol price hike. The writer says living cost unbearable for workers. Demands immediate wage award. Tax cuts. Relief. What do you think about it? Is it a good call? And do you think that the federal government and state governments will oblige them?
The call should have been made before now, especially the day that this hike took off.
Okay.
Because you know that whatever affects the pump price of petroleum products has a spiral effect on every aspect of our daily lives. One, are you talking about transportation? Are you talking about electricity? Are you talking about cost of living? Go to the market and see how we are having a galloping inflation where something you buy 10 naira yesterday, you go there the next day is 20 naira. The next 2 days is already 45. You know what Nigerians can do.
So cost of
a bag of pure water, we used to buy a bag of water, say 400 stroke 500. But now 600 in some areas, they are selling it 750. Wow. This is something that that is, if you now want to buy a sachet water, just one sachet, you will now spend as much as almost 100 naira to get one. You're already buying mineral as it were in old good days. This is Nigeria for you. And you know too that amidst the fact that there is rise in the price of petroleum products, we on our part, dealers, retailers, wholesalers, and so many in the chain of production and distribution, we're always looking at how we can outdo ourselves. Because a situation whereby you buy something at the rate of 50 naira, if you are considerate, nothing takes it out from you if you decide to sell it at 60 naira. But here we are, you see some persons who buy something at the rate of 50 naira, they want to sell it at the rate of 150 naira. 100% gain. Yeah, more than 100%. So that is where we are today. NLC coming to make such a call, I don't see it coming at the appropriate time. They should have done it long before now, because for over 2 weeks now, Nigerians have been grappling with another lifestyle. Judging from the fact that public servants are still on 70,000 naira minimum wage. And before they went into negotiation with Mr. President and the committee from the federal axis about the new minimum wage, none of them told Labour that there was going to be a removal of fuel subsidy and so many other things.
They even said the price of fuel will be stabilized.
I know. So, but that is Nigeria for you. Most times, it is not what we say in the daytime that we put into practice when it comes to putting it into action. I expected Mr. President to have made a broadcast as far as this is concerned. All of this is happening because our refineries are not working. We are now relying on a single man, Dangote refinery, a private investor. He has invested a lot of billions and trillions of dollars into the business, and he will want to recoup what he has invested into the business. So you wouldn't dictate for him what he should sell and what he should not sell. But if our refineries were to be in optimal performance, I think by now Nigerians would have heaved a sigh of relief by way of saying, okay, now that the private sector appears to be failing us, let's fall back on what we have. And in a market where you have a monopolized system, you are bound to see what we are seeing. But if you are able to make it open to every investor, people will come in and do business. And when such happens, it helps to bring the price of things down.
Okay, can you merge your story with the probe of 5.9 billion naira NNPC rebranding costs?
If you want to go into that, so many persons will just be kept behind bars. Because if...
shouldn't they, if they are found guilty?
They should. But now, you know that before now we had, whether should I call misrepresentation of facts, that we were told before now that NNPC, that they've been able to put a Warri refinery, Port Harcourt refinery in order. That is during Kyari's time as the group managing director of NNPC, where we were told that they've been able to, at least that very soon, Warri refinery will start production.
Work is in place. Even some journalists went there and they concurred to this.
Yes, that was, it's just like when they are commissioning some, say, water project. You'll be surprised that at night they've been able to pump water into the tanks. And as soon as you come, you see it flowing.
You actually see it.
Nobody will go further to say, are you sure this thing is running? So that is the way it is. If they want to camouflage whatever they are doing, your own is to go there and see things for yourself. But a situation where you now start telling them, let's try and test run and see whether this thing is, they will see you as somebody who is being mischievous. That is where we are in this part of the country. NNPC has been an economic drain pipe, if I'm allowed to use that phrase, because if NNPC as it were, Nigerians have been hoping against hope that it will function optimally during the military days, and since 1999 to date, the highest problems Nigerians have passed through, in addition to insecurity, is in the petroleum sector, where day in, day out, every administration you hear they move from price A to price B without putting the masses into consideration. Before now, when we had an issue of COVID-19, there was a lot of palliative. Since what happened now in the last few weeks happened about this hike in the price of petroleum product, has Mr. President been able to address Nigerians to say, okay, these are the programs we are rolling out to cushion the effect of this?
They actually talked about CNG buses and electric vehicles.
Is it about CNG? Do you have the light? One thing is to make policies. Another is to ensure that it favors the masses or comes into fruition. We know that in Asaba here, there is an ongoing project on CNG buses just by Mr. Biggs, ShopRite, by the Interval flyover. Not until all of this is put into consideration. You know that CNG most times will work effectively if our power sector is rebranded and made to function to the advantage of the masses. If you look at the whole thing, we travel abroad and we see the good things working out well there, and we come here and want to implement it. Some persons, as a result of bureaucratic processes, want to frustrate the process. So it's not as if the government of the day and government across board, talking about local government, state government and federal government, they are not putting in effort. But there is always a clog in the wheel of progress, and that is exactly what Nigerians are reaping. But we keep praying and hoping that a day will come when a Messiah will come and rescue us from all of these myriads of challenges we'll be facing in recent times.
All right, so let's delve into politics, the PDP. From the Guardian newspaper, PDP, reconciliation talks fail as Wike faction takes control of states. I'll put that side by side with this from the Punch newspaper. Wike-backed faction installs PDP escorts in Biden. Wike-backed faction. So now they had peace talks that broke down. So
I'm not surprised at what is happening. You know that not until the rotten tooth is pulled out of the mouth will not cease chewing with caution.
So is the rotten tooth?
Not until Wike is sent back in.
But Wike was actually, should I say, suspended or expelled from the party, and that convention which Wike was expelled was declared null and void by the court.
You should know that, let me not be seen as being sarcastic. Our judiciary, there is need for us to look into that area, because most judgment that we see these days is as if it is a cash and carry. Wike is not a bona fide member of the PDP, if you want to fall back on that.
Yeah.
By virtue of the fact that he was suspended, whether they went to court.
We know that in the days of the PDP was bold enough to tell us that they were going to rule Nigeria for 60 years. And APC is already bragging on that same trajectory. One thing that should be paramount here is the fact that if you are the party on board, what Nigerians want is just effective representation. Let your policies match with your actions. If you are telling Nigerians that you are bringing about renewed hope, what do you mean by renewed hope? Renewed hope is about reactivating all the dead things that were hitherto happening in Nigeria. Are you talking about insecurity? Are you talking about unemployment? Are you talking about the cost of living? What are we witnessing now? Somebody should not be telling me about any political party. The language that should be paramount here is the fact that the economy has improved, the cost of living has been stabilized. We now have good roads, especially federal roads that are really in bad shape as it is now. And if you go to our airport now, you see that the cost of flight has tripled. It is no longer within the reach of the common people. Are you talking about in the education sector? How viable are the learning tools that we have in all of these institutions? I'm so glad to hear from the pointer where the Delta State government has decided to build more hostels.
More hostels, yes.
You know that these are our 3 new universities. The challenge from the onset has been accommodation, where you are asked to pay school fees of so amount of money. But when you look at the accommodation, it will triple the school fees that you have paid. Yeah. And that one coming from the state government is a welcome development. And so many other things that were also approved. You know that at the federal level, we've been talking about the issue of state police. Yeah. And the federal government has decided to join the bandwagon to say very soon we float it. Yeah. But the Delta State government, in
construction of
in an anticipation of such, has taken a step forward by ensuring that they are going to establish a police station across the 25 local government areas of the state. And this is not just about the structure. It's about equipping all of these special units with the desired tools to work, talking about state-of-the-art facilities in the area of gadgets that will aid the tracking of criminals. Another one is to ensure that they assist the federal police, because it's not about bringing the issue of state police. The federal one will still be on board. They must synergize, because if insecurity is addressed, invariably development will set in. But a situation where we have insecurity everywhere, when you talk about development, it will continue to be a mirage. And our prayer and our hope here is the fact that we want to bequeath a better society, not only for ourselves, but to our children and the unborn children, so that by tomorrow, somebody will not be in his house and you want to sleep. You now sleep with your 2 eyes open. But you can sleep and sleep with your 2 eyes closed. And you want to travel, it now becomes a thing of choice. I am going to Sokoto. I say, okay, I'm going there for sightseeing. I want to follow the road. I travel by road. But a situation whereby from here to Benin is not safe. You prefer, whether it's to sell your landed property for you to fly, so that you can be alive to look for how you can buy another land. That is what we are going through right now.
Okay, Mr. Jimmy, on the foreign scene, we have this one that says U.S. probes Nigeria, orders in labor rights crackdown. Now Nigeria has also, spoke on that. Says UK visit, federal government alleges plots to embarrass Tinubu.
I know that that is practically possible, judging from the fact that Nigerians are going through a lot. And you know that whatever happens in Asaba is seen globally. So if they are organizing protests ahead of Mr. President's visit, that is a way of passing the message across to him. If he has not heard that Nigerians are groaning over this fuel situation, over insecurity, over the bad road, and so many other things that are befalling us as a nation, they will pass the message across to him. Because if UK was not a conducive environment, you will not be running abroad. Most of our politicians, if they want to invest, they go there and invest. If they want their children to acquire tertiary education, they send them there after stealing our money here. So if that is the best way they think they can address Mr. President, I don't see anything too bad about it. But what I will kick against is going there to say something that is not factual. But if your protest is based on what is happening here, and we have a clearer picture of what is happening here, there is nothing bad about that. But Mr. President too should be able to go there to tell the world that this is what I have done and this is what I intend doing. Not about telling the whole world that this is what you intend doing. When next you are visiting UK, maybe in the next 2 years, in the next 1 year, will you be proud to tell the world that when I visited here so time, I told you that I was going to do so road, and now I've done it, and I want to make a new pronouncement. So people should forget about the issue of 2027. You know, since the birth of this year, 2026, so many persons who were bragging that Ogaga will not go, Madam Lizzie will not go, this one will go. Some of them are already gone, and many will go. Yeah. So the only time we have today is the time we are spending. Not about, you know, politicians are too futuristic. You see a politician planning about next 30 years. And they are not planning about doing good things. It's how to undo an opponent. And whatever happens here, because we see an opposition as anti-government, let us look at how we can do things. There are things that you will do, opposition will even commend you. You see in Delta State here today, when you see some projects that are being approved, I have on the social media, you see people commending the governor for approving social road that leads to their place. Yeah. A place like Oko, since the birth of this world, Oko has not gotten one third road. But today now you can move from point A to point B in Oko. It's not as if the entire road has been tarred, but a step.
A step in the right direction.
Yes, it is by when you take one step that you cannot take the second step. So let us kickstart something like that. All our federal roads are in bad shape. If you want to go to Onitsha now, see what people go through from Asaba. How many kilometers from here to the Hair Bridge? But you see the hell that people go through every year. So it shouldn't be. When we want to say, this is my policy trust, if you as a governor, you as a council chairman, you as Mr. President, and you're able to tap from Asaba to Benin, let it be done and done well. Not the situation of they rob Kota on the road, in the next 2 weeks you see potholes. It shouldn't be. So that when you do this, the incoming administration will now say, okay, from point B, I will take it to point C. That is the way to go. Enough of this waste of resources for one thing that we keep doing. And continuation of policies appears to be an issue in this country. A situation whereby, because I don't belong to party A, when party B comes in, it's okay. I will do something to undo this party so that their name will not be in the annals of history that they did. So continuity of projects and programs.
Thank you. I would just like to also chip in because we're talking about opposition commenting and other people talking. I'd like to chip in that former military head of state and elder statesman, he said that President Bola Tinubu, Yakubu Gowon, he said that President Bola Tinubu is doing his best in essential sector, so that's just for balance. So why you think that the president is not doing well? That statement like Yakubu Gowon and former military head of state, he said the president is doing his
no two persons will think the same way. If my administration is favoring Lizzie, maybe because I'm close to cheesy, and I'm able to tell her, okay, the road leading to your husband's place, I will include it in the 2027 budget. Will she not come out tomorrow to but if my own is not done, I will still be in the position to say Mr. President is not doing well. That is the way
this is a good place to leave it, so you can get yourself different copies of the newspaper or log on to their different websites to get details of the stories. Thank you very much, Comrade Ejimel Dueme, for your analysis as always. Cheesy, before we go.
Oh yes, just to brush a little bit on the issue of that bullying case, that is on ground at the moment. Try to teach your kids not to be bullies, and as an adult as well, we have a lot of bullies walking around. Try as much as possible not to be a bully. Thank you so much for riding with us. I'm Cheesy. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much for being a part of Monday's edition of Morning Ride. On behalf of the production crew, I am Ogaga Ekama, thanking you so much for your time.